Hey guys, Sid here. Welcome to this Hall of Fame interview. And I'm really looking forward to this interview because here is somebody who I've known for many months. And she has gone through so many things that I think every single woman entrepreneur needs to hear. Every single entrepreneur needs to hear. And she went through the grind. And in the last 5 months, she was able to achieve over 16 lakh rupees by implementing the freedom business model. Plus, in just the last month, she achieved 5 lakhs out of that 16 lakhs. So first of all, Sandhya, congratulations on breaking through.
Thank you so much, Siddharth. Thank you so much, Siddharth. And it's an opportunity. It's in fact, it's a privilege that I'm getting interviewed by you. It's an honor to be with you.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I remember the last year when you bought my product, you came in and you were really in that mode of you had to do something for your life. You had to
Yes,
do something for your family. Tell us
absolutely.
about that situation. Like, what was the situation like on the personal side? Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, even though I was doing physical classes, I had my students, but the point is, it does not give you that feeling of satisfaction because obviously there is one thing that I was very clear in my business is that I do not want to hire teachers. I'm going to be the one who's going to be changing lives because I knew I had that potential to put kids to action in a fun way.
Okay.
And I had reached my peak of 20 kids, and I knew beyond that, if I go, it's just that I'm going to be compromising on quality. So
Mm.
what is the next way to leverage? And that was definitely online group coaching model. And
Okay.
I was actively looking out for something in this space. And they always say, right when the student is ready, the master appears. And that's exactly happened. I came across your ad. I'm like, yes, this is something that I've been looking in from a very long time. So I went through the entire journey, and the best part, what I loved, it was very structured, it was very systematic, and especially those micro videos, they really put you to task.
Mm.
So when you're giving us a 30-day or the 90-day, somewhere you're setting in the mind that yes, this is doable in 30 days.
Mm.
It's all this that you have to have a routine in place, sit on it, and get your things up and running.
Mm.
So that changed my game because from 15 students, I was able to reach to as good as 40 students in the first month. Now
Mm.
that gave me that inspiration. Yes, this model works. It's just about now getting deeper and gaining more clarity on it and basically building your space and your online presence.
Got it. So those of you watching this, Sandhya is a maths specialist. She helps, she has her courses on that in that space. Now, during that phase, I remember Sandhya, you were telling me, I mean, you had multiple niches, like you had multiple ideas.
Yes, yes,
You
yes.
were doing many things there. So
Hmm.
just walk us through that phase. Like how were
Hmm.
you able to narrow it down, and how did you hit the sweet spot? Because it would have taken you some time to, you know,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
identify that.
Yes. So I was basically running programs on math, and I was also very actively involved in personal development. And the
Mm.
reason why that happened was, is like even though I was training kids on math, there were many a times that I came across kids that even though you give in your best, the results don't come. And
Mm.
when I dug deep, I understood that many a times it's the environment, or many a times even parents, or I would say moms especially, if they have their inhibitions around the subject, they don't realize, but they subconsciously pass it to their child. So if
Got
the
it.
mother has a math phobia, it automatically passes to the child. And that was the time I realized that it has to be a holistic approach at the end of the day. You just can't focus on math as it is. But I went ahead with a lot of certifications. In fact, after that, I did my NLP, I did my emotional intelligence, I did law of attraction. But somewhere then I felt that I am just trying to be everywhere and
Mm.
ending up being nowhere. And I
Mm.
remember I had a conversation with you as well. Even you were like, Sandhya, just focus on one thing and everything else will come into place and follow into place. And I
Mm.
realized, yes, just being scattered is not going to help because I knew my skill sets were math. And then you go and dig deep on their personal development and getting their mindset to get the things right that works better.
Mm.
So I narrowed down. Since the 4 to 5 months, I've just been focusing on math and have got some fantastic results. And also at the same time, I keep getting messages like, because we've attended your program, my child does not have the math phobia anymore. Now,
Mm.
that basically happens when you are very, very clear in your message. What is it that you want to send across? And you are not confusing your audience as to
Mm.
where are you heading.
Awesome, awesome. So you're saying like even though you had learned personal development, you were in
Hmm.
these two categories, you infused both of them into one with math being the
In
focus.
one,
Yes,
exactly,
that's the key.
exactly,
Okay, awesome.
exactly.
So
Hmm.
um, I think when did you get into the freedom business model? It was November last year or 2018, or what? When was
It
this?
was it was 2018. It was
Yes.
2018,
Mm,
and I was very clear that the next 1 year, I have to get my business up and running because my son was born in 2010, and prior
mm,
to that, I was on to a well-paying job. In fact, I was working as an assistant financial planning manager with Bajaj Capital
mm.
because I'm actually a certified financial planner by qualification.
Okay.
But the mindset of a mom changes once a child is born, right?
Mm, yes.
And 2012, I did my Vedic Maths course from as in from Vedic Maths Academy UK,
Mm,
and I was very clear that yes, this is the way forward because I always wanted to do Vedic Maths. I
mm,
loved it, and I'm like, the children in the West are doing it, but why not our children in India? This is something that comes from Vedas. It's
yeah.
originated in India, but it's not very well developed in India because of many people lack a structure to it, and it's just about giving tricks and techniques that doesn't work. It has to be a holistic approach around it.
Mm,
So I was clear that this is the way forward. And since I was at home, I used to take my son down for a stroll. I used to interact with moms, and my belief strengthened when parents told me
mm,
that yes, our kids are struggling with math.
mm,
So that's how all the journey started. But I was taking things on a lighter note till my son was 7, because I was very clear that I do not want to have the guilt trap later. You
mm,
know, entrepreneurship can wait, but these are the years that my bonding with my child is important.
mm.
Because once this is said, I know he's going to be the one who's going to be pushing me forward. And that's exactly what happened. So
Nice.
2017, I got into business, got a little more serious about it. And through word of mouth, I was definitely getting clients. But as I said, that satisfaction wasn't there.
Mm,
2018, I took your freedom business model. I still remember November, December, I mean 31st December 2018, where people are going out there and enjoying the New Year party. I'm the types, I'm like, I love my space.
mm,
I get very freaked when I learn new things. I get very excited about it.
mm,
And 2019, I hit the ground. Like Jan, I started, with Facebook ads, but then it was Jan to June, I was experimenting. But from July onwards, I kickstarted the program, and I got
mm.
fantastic results in the last 5 months.
Yeah. So July last year till end of the year was, I would say, the grinding phase. Like you would have tried and tested several things
Till November,
till
December,
November.
till December, Jan, Feb, I started touching around 70 students. And then that gave me the belief, if I can touch 70, why can't I touch 100?
Mm, yes, yes. So walk us through that phase of, the grinding phase. Like what were the challenges that you went through? More from a technical side you cover, and you can also cover as a woman also, like as a woman entrepreneur from home. I mean, you're doing everything
Yes,
yourself. Tell us
yes.
about that. Yes.
Yeah. So see, first and foremost, what I very strongly believe is that as a woman, you got to handle multiple things. Like, even though you have domestic help, but still at the end of the day, you are the one who's guiding them through. And for me, my child, it's like I drop the child, I pick the child. Of course, my husband is a very, very, very big support.
Mm,
But we've been very, very clear when it comes to our children, we are not going to have any domestic help for them. So when
mm,
it comes to his education, no tuitions, we are the one who's guiding him through. And along the same side, we are handling business as well. So when the challenges come into your business, because I very strongly believe that entrepreneurship is a journey. So even if you reach one goal, you've just started. The more
mm,
challenges you face, the more you grow as a
mm.
person.
Yeah.
Right. So when I started with my webinars, the main challenge that what I faced basically was that many moms are not very tech savvy. So the
Mm,
concept of webinar, they did not understand what's a webinar. If
mm,
we ask them to download Zoom, they don't know what is Zoom, how to install Zoom. So even though I had a team in place and we were supporting them,
mm,
but it was still the traditional concept, can you come over, or do you have physical classes? But let's accept everybody does not live in Mumbai, and
mm,
even in Mumbai itself, I mean, there is definitely a distance concern to
mm,
take care of. And wherein nowadays most of the women are working, logistics is definitely a concern, right?
mm,
Either the days will not match, time will not match, or travel is certainly not possible.
mm,
So this becomes really easy because as a parent, I mean, I felt that I want my child to get the best of education and where I am not stuck. So
mm,
to make them understand that yes, online is the next wave, online is the next thing, that took some time, because in my case, the buyer is different and the consumer is different. So if
correct.
the mother is not convinced that this is for him, they are not ultimately going to be attending your webinar or investing in your product.
Mm.
So these were the tech side was definitely tough. Now because of the recent situation, people are understanding that online is the next wave and they are more open to it now.
Yes, yes.
But initially, e-learning or online education was not very, very acceptable,
Mm. Especially for this category of your.
especially for this
Mm.
category.
Yes.
Absolutely, because
Mm.
they want more of a physical touch to it, or they are comfortable dropping their child. Okay, working moms, of course, they think differently, but then again, it's still not very common how it is common in US and UK and other countries.
Mm. Got it. So you're saying that your initial phase, I mean, it was hard to, make the parents understand about this concept. Now it is
Concept.
opened up. Yes.
Now it's opened
Mm.
up. Yes.
And on your personal level, like you've been balancing it between you, your husband, taking care of your child, and doing
Hmm.
this business.
Yes.
And tell us about that phase. Like, what are all the systems that you learned? So now you run your own ads, you build your own
Yes.
systems, your funnels, everything. Are you hands
Everything
on?
on my own. Everything on my own. Because see, I very strongly believe that even if you have a team, who's going to be directing the team? If you have the knowledge, you can direct the team.
Mm.
And I was very clear that I would have a team for the operational aspect, not in terms of the tech side or the marketing aspect, because you know your business better. In fact, I just started a new funnel 3 days back. I was in two minds. I took like a 1 week pause. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I have the connects, I have the contact. Should I outsource it or should I do it myself? And every time I ask myself this question, like, when am I going to grow?
Mm.
Of course, yes, there has been a great journey, but as I said, it's a journey. It's not a full stop. It's always learning new things. And I'm so glad that I did it myself, that I could see results in just as 2 days.
And what are the results? Yes, this funnel
Yeah,
is.
so we've kept a very low budget. Okay, we just started with a new Facebook ad
Mm.
that is on training first standard kids,
Mm.
and we've got as good as almost 110 people
Mm.
and into the funnel, and I've been spending what 500 rupees to experiment with. So it's
Mm.
just like 10 rupees per lead, 9 rupees, 10 rupees per lead.
Nice,
Now
nice.
the point is, I'm like, I could have given this to someone else, but as I said, that I'm a person who would like to take charge and get things up and rolling.
Okay.
So I have a
Awesome.
system
Mm.
in place. It's
Mm.
like, my timings are fixed. Okay. Like,
Mm.
like this is the time that I got to invest in my business. Like 10 o'clock, I connect with my team. I get up early, I'm an early bird. For me, it's like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. And
Mm.
that is my learning time. I would never get into the operational work first.
Mm.
So once I'm like done with my tea, I just learn something. I write my goals, my affirmations, and it's like more about what how can I take the business forward? I
Mm.
reflect a lot. For me, it's like that silent time, because I love that 4 a.m., 5 a.m. time.
Yes.
You're just all to yourself. There's no one around. So I just reflect, what did I learn? What can I change? I write down how I'm feeling. How can I change things in my business?
Mm.
And that this activity has personally helped me a lot.
Amazing, amazing. So tell us about the structure of your day. So you do
Mm,
4 a.m., you finish off your learning.
mm.
When do you hit the desk, and then when do you give time for your family? I mean, I think many women entrepreneurs here will be inspired by that.
Yes.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
routine.
So basically like around like 7:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. I'm like, busy with my household stuff, because sending the kid to school and getting the breakfast and everything done.
Morning, you're saying 7:30
Morning,
a.m. Okay.
yeah,
Mm.
yes,
Mm.
7:30 to 10. So
Mm.
once that is sorted, okay, like, no, one department is over, and then
Mm.
I'm back to my work. And 10 a.m. to 12, that's 10 to 12. So at 10 a.m., I connect with my team. I get that thing up and running, of whatever I have to instruct them, or if I have to basically, set up something. So 10 to 12, 12 o'clock, I have my domestic help who comes. So 12
Mm.
to 12:45, again, I'm instructing her, I'm guiding her.
Mm.
And usually my one-to-one calls, I have a time from 12:45 to 1:15.
Okay.
So
Mm.
then after is lunchtime, then a little bit of rest, being with family for lunch.
Mm.
Then 3:30, 3:45, I go get my child from school.
Mm.
Then I'm with him at least till 5, because once they come back from school, they want to talk about, right? Then they
Yes.
need their mom at the end of the day. Then I'm again from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. I'm with him for a study. So he's studying simultaneously. I'm also doing my operational work
Mm.
simultaneously. I go for a walk. I
Mm.
come back around 7:45, and 8 p.m. I have my webinars. So
Excellent.
my
Mm.
8 p.m. to 9 p.m. my webinars are done, and then it's dinner time. So we normally do the dinner preparation in the morning. So
Mm.
it's just then you just got to hit the kitchen, just get on to fast work, feed your family, and then after 10 I'm with my family. So
Wow.
it's
Wow.
very structured. I'm like, when I have to be with family, I'm there 100%. When I'm on my work, I'm 100%. And for me, as I said, like that learning, that morning time is so important,
Mm,
because you just put in all your thoughts in the goal book. Your affirmations are there. Even for these 100 students, I used to write every day, 100
mm,
students I've got to get. And I got it, because it works so beautifully. And Siddharth, you always tell us, right? Write down your goals, write down your affirmations, look at your goal card. And if I
yes.
achieve my goal card, I changed it. I mean, now my numbers have changed.
Yeah, it has
So
to
I
go
have
up.
to see, yeah, I have to see the new numbers now.
Amazing, Sandhya. I'm just
Mm,
love the way that you have structured your day and the way
mm.
that you're able to be present, at all the different aspects.
Exactly. That's
Mm,
such a correct word, being present. Because mostly what I see for women entrepreneurs, they are just running from pillar to post. I'm like, if they are working, they are still thinking about the kid. And when they're with the kid, they're thinking about business. So that
mm-hmm.
doesn't work. You
Yes.
just there, just be there, because if anything that is going to have the worry element in it, you're not going to enjoy it. Right,
Mm,
so you got to love your work, because you automatically, people are able to sense your energy and they automatically get charged.
yes. Yes. Awesome.
Mhm.
So next question, shifting gears, is how long did it take for you to develop your products and courses, and what would you recommend for people watching? Like, what is the fastest way to get to the result? Because you've taken a pretty long learning curve
Yes,
with your
I
own
took a
self
long run.
discovery. So
Yes.
what can they do to cut that short based on your experience? Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, see, the point is again, clarity is very, very important. Your audience, see, in my case, as I said, the buyer is different, the consumer is different,
Mm, mm,
so it definitely took time. But yes, put first, be very clear in your head what is it that you want. You need to define your customer journey in your head first.
mm,
And then accordingly, fix up a time every single day. So it's kind of, many people say we'll do it on weekends. And when the weekend comes, they say it's next weekend. Right. So it has to be done on a daily basis. You have to give yourself a deadline, and a deadline before a deadline. Because
mm,
that's the way I work. And for me, somehow, always I have been able to hit my first deadline. It's never the second deadline.
mm,
So you got to do it daily, because anything that you do it daily, you get into a habit and it comes out very easily. You just start enjoying it. Work is no longer work. Like
mm,
I personally work from morning till night, but somehow I'm still like, if someone would talk to me at 10 in the night, I would still have the same high level of energy,
mm.
because I enjoy my work.
Yes.
Right. So it's all about first having a clear head. What's your level one? What's your level two? What's your level three? You could chalk it down on a piece of paper, and then you could distribute it, like, it could be 1 hour or 2 hours of daily shooting of videos with, like in my case, it was worksheets as well.
Mm,
But then if it's just videos, it becomes really easy. So I
mm,
think it would not take more than 30 days ideally if a
mm.
person is doing it daily. It's just in the head how you want to go ahead with it. I'm
Correct.
like, all the three levels could be short, or you probably, even if you shoot two levels and then see that how is the customer responding, how is the client responding, and then go ahead and make your level three, that is also fine, because you got to
Absolutely.
test. You got
Mm,
to test what is working, what is not working. Because I
right.
made my level one and I started off. And because I got very good response in the 2 months in seven, though we were at 40 kids. But still, it was a developing. From 15, we touched 40. And in
Mm.
the second month itself, I started building on my second course, which was a 90-day program. It was 90 videos, 90 worksheets. I did that in 1 month.
Wow. Awesome. Great tips there. So having clarity and committing to a daily,
Daily.
that's what's going to give momentum to help you
Yes,
move fast.
correct.
Okay, so based on the freedom business model, ever since you got in, what do you think were the top three, glaringly important things that impacted your business directly? Like, what were the three things that you can think of?
Yeah. So basically, see, online business is all about a system and structure in place,
Mm,
which I definitely learned from here, that you got to be very clear in your head in terms of the customer journey
mm,
and define it. Be very, very clear, because what helps is it helps the buyer to take an informed decision. See,
mm,
many people, what happens is that, initially this happened with me. We try to chase clients,
mm,
right? So once you are clear in your head and you are able to define the customer journey in advance, when a person comes to your webinar and when he sees that you have a system and a structure in place,
mm.
automatically the person starts perceiving you as an authority and he's able to take a decision.
Correct.
So it's all about definitely adding value for sure, but
Mm,
having that absolute clarity of the customer journey
mm,
and sales then happen automatically, and people chase you rather than you chase clients. So that equation changes absolutely.
Mm.
Second thing, what I loved about the model was, as I said, that micro videos, you've made it very simple. Because I had been looking out for such a program, as in putting everything together. So even though there are many things in it, you have landing pages, you have email responders, you have setting up your payment gateway, it's very simplified. It's not at all complicated. It's just about you sitting into it every single day, just taking that day 21 video or day 22 video and then connecting the dots. So it
Mm.
was very simple to adopt. That was for sure, and that helped me to leverage my growth. And yes, most important, what I learned was you need a system for everything. So if you have a system on how you're conducting the program, you also need to have a system for generating leads on a daily basis.
Mm.
That is important, because you just can't wait only for word of mouth, right?
Yes.
So once on one way you have your webinars where you collect leads for your next batch. On the other way, you are providing value, and you are also adding your finishing touches to the existing batch. So
Yes.
I loved what I basically loved was the system in place. And
Mm.
yes, I have to mention this, that I've always been spiritual, but with you, it was like, yes, this works, in the sense, once you meditate, once you're all to yourself, once you write down your thoughts, the kind of clarity that you get, and not only we grow as an individual, but also it gives you a very, very, very deep insights into your business model, and most importantly, not from your perspective, but how can you serve others.
Exactly.
That's
Mm.
that again shook me off. That was like, wow. And it's Siddharth. I'm like, I keep talking about you to my mom, because my mom is highly spiritual and she's so inspired by you. I'm like, great. I didn't know that Siddharth also talks about these things. I'm like, yes, he's connecting everything. And if you look at it from another perspective, he absolutely makes sense.
Thank you. I
So,
mean, really,
yeah.
I think it's the first time in the interview someone shared this feedback. Normally, thank you so much. Really
Absolutely.
means a lot.
No,
Yeah.
Siddharth. It's,
Mm.
see, people always look in terms of money making. Yes, that is there, but it's a byproduct. Once you are adding value to people's lives, money is going to follow you automatically, because the law of karma always works, right? And I so truly believe in it. But, when you keep talking about it, I remember I heard your podcast. I went through that entire blog, where you had connected,
Yeah.
and I actually read it 5 times. I'm like, each and every word made so much of sense. And it's like, at times when you get so busy in your brain, at times you tend to forget that spiritual aspect. But with you, I'm like, no, this is what is the base of everything.
True.
And this
Yeah.
is what people forget. And the main reason why people are actually stuck in their lives is because of the mindset, again, at the same
Mm.
time, because
Yes.
they either find it, oh, it's too tech, I cannot handle it, and then
Mm.
they go there and outsource. But let me tell you guys, I have to share this, that everything is there in your program. It's just about sitting down and doing it. That's all about.
Yes. Thank you for sharing, Sandhya. So tell us about many mothers who are watching this, or anyone. I mean, many people watching this maybe have
Yes.
this inhibition about selling. Like I don't mind creating and helping people. I don't
Hmm.
mind serving people, but I don't want to sell. So
Hmm.
they have these things. So did you have such thing like that? How were you able to break through
No,
and?
I never had that selling inhibition, but yes, I didn't know how to sell, to be
Mm.
very honest, because I was always the person who used to just keep adding value, value, value.
Yeah.
And let's accept it, over a period of time, you start getting demotivated when you are at the same time just adding value and people are not taking you seriously. Because I very strongly believe
Mm.
anything that you give free is not valued.
Yes.
So you're
Mm.
giving the best of knowledge, but if it's not going to be implemented, it makes no sense. It's neither a win-win situation for me nor a win-win situation for the other hand.
Mm.
So selling, I believe, is very important, because ultimately at the end of the day, what is it that you're looking at? You want your customer to win through, right?
Exactly.
So
Mm.
there's nothing wrong about selling. It's just that you have to be clear in your mind how you're putting your things forward, how you're presenting your stuff, so that it helps them. See, the client is always interested in one thing, WIF, and what's in it for me. You
Mm.
got to talk the language of the client. You got to beat their phobias. You got to beat their inhibitions. Then he's more than willing to invest in you. But if
Yes.
you're going to be selling from a perspective of you wanting to make money, then definitely it's not going to work. And the other person is going to sense that.
Mm. Yes. So for you, selling is a form of service, like I always say, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because only when they sell, or only when you sell, they are going to consume your product. And that's exactly what, and then they can take a decision whether they want to go to your higher level or no.
Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, I always say that, people who pay
Hmm.
money, they pay attention.
They pay attention,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And people who pay
Otherwise, they
attention
just
take
take you
action.
for
Yeah.
granted. Yes, they take you
Yes.
for granted. Okay, fine. Then, okay, see, she said this. And I have gone through that grind as well, because somewhere even I felt that, yes, I was not putting things in the right perspective. And the webinar selling formula that we had in the program. And I feel, as I said, self reflection. It's very important that you go back and watch your own webinars and
Hmm.
you think from the perspective of a client. Would you buy the product? That also gives you a lot of insights on where you can change and talk absolute stuff which is relatable to them. They
Hmm.
can, and then they can connect with you. So
True.
that's very important.
Hmm. Awesome.
Yeah.
Great, Sandhya. I think this has been a value-packed interview here. A lot of
Mhm.
moms watching this, a lot of women entrepreneurs watching this are going to be really inspired by the message that you shared.
Hmm.
And those of you who want to know more about what Sandhya does, and if you want to get your kids into a math program, I've given the
Hmm.
link description in my YouTube channel. Go and check it out. You can go and see
Hmm.
Sandhya's websites.
Hmm.
And if you want to learn this particular model, the freedom business model, jump into the bandwagon. There's a link below. Go and check out the formula. Watch the video, take action, and get in. Yeah.
Hmm.
Now, before we leave, Sandhya, is there any words that you want to share for specifically the women entrepreneurs and the super moms who are watching this? Leah, what
Yeah.
advice would you give them if they are in that mode of, should I do this? Should I not do this? I do not know.
Hmm.
What do you have to say for them?
First things first, I would say come out of the lethargy. Okay, you got to be consistent. You got to take action. See, I believe in one concept that challenges will come, and the minute you decide that you want to grow, be ready for all the challenges that are gonna come in. So that's just a part of life. Okay, so you got to be consistent. Leave the lethargy. Take consistent action because it's all about consistency. At the end of the day, you got to make it a habit. And unless and until you don't do that, it's like random efforts give random results.
Yeah.
So you got to decide whether you want to leave a legacy or you just want to treat entrepreneurship as a hobby, or you want to treat entrepreneurship as serious entrepreneurship.
Yeah, that's a
Hmm.
very good point. How
Hmm.
did it feel
Hmm.
when you achieved that 5 lakh month last month? What was that feeling like? I'm talking more from your personal belief about yourself and your family members. Yeah. What is it?
I was on top of the world. I was extremely happy that yes, I was able to hit it. My son, my husband, my family, my in-laws, because they are so supportive. They were like, "Great, you're going great, and now don't stop the momentum." I'm like, "No ways. I'm just gonna like." That very day, I changed my gold card with the new figure. Yes, now this is definitely doable. And see, it's Siddharth, as I said, it's not always about the money.
Yeah.
It's like you feel for yourself that yes, you are capable of doing a lot when you've hit it, and now it's just going forward.
Yes. Yes. Amazing. Thank you, Sandhya. A lot of inspiration here for everyone. Those of you watching this, please share in the comments what was your biggest learning. Whether you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, what was your biggest learning from this interview with Sandhya? And
Mm,
we'll be reading all these comments below. And once again,
mm,
if you want to go and check out what Sandhya is doing, is there in my YouTube channel description. Go and watch that, and there's a link out to that. Thank you
mm.
so much, Sandhya. Wish you all the very
Thank
best.
you.
May you go and inspire
Thank
and
you so
impact
much.
thousands and
Yes,
thousands
thank
of
you.
kids during
Yes.
this, especially during this time. I think you're doing a great job. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Siddharth. Thank you.